Earth 2020. Society is in ruins, and a virus runs rampant among the world's humble citizens. They are lost. In these dark times, three wayward nerds cross paths at the House of India and realize they are destined to be friends. And so they did. This is their story. The story of the Side Quest.
Welcome back to the Side Quest podcast. My name is Matt.
I'm BJ.
I'm Luke.
It's been a good week. It's been a really good week.
Well, for you.
What happened?
Insomnia. I just can't sleep. I fucked my sleep schedule up so bad that, like...
Dude, stop fucking talking about Final Fantasy 15 already.
No, I've fucked my sleep schedule up bad to where even though I knew I had, like, a double the next day, and I'm like, all right, get in bed. It's 12. Go to bed. And my body's like, but it's not 3 yet. And so I'm like, fuck. And so, yeah, for, like, 4 days, I was, like, running on, like, 2 hours of sleep each night. And I was fucked. Yeah. Like... So I'm finally taking melatonin just to get some sleep.
There you go.
And it's worked so far for 2 days. So.
Have you ever tried Ambien?
No.
That's a good one. Melatonin, like, long term can actually, like, fuck up, like, because it's one of those things that has to just increases a chemical that your body already releases. Yeah. And it's one of those things that, like, can fuck you up long term.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try tonight with no melatonin, and then, you know, kind of on and off it till I can just be like, no, like.
I used to nightly, and then one time I just, like, stopped, and I was like, let me see. And then I just was falling asleep just fine. Like, it was still just as hard to fall asleep for me. And I was like, okay, well.
My mom's got other stuff, too, just, like, all these, like, healthy whatever else things that can work. I've also bought some tea that's supposed to help you with some sleep stuff, and I was like,
yeah,
cool.
Some teas can be really good. Yeah.
I was just in like a panic of like, fuck, I need sleep, and so yeah. But other than that, it's been fine. It's
usually like when I have like panic attacks or other stuff, and I'm trying really hard to go to sleep, I'll like try a lot of different things, and then when it comes down to it, like I'll make tea, then I'll go jump in the shower, get in really cold water, like as cold as it can be, unless it's like during the winter. Yeah. But cold, so I'm like cold, and then I'll turn it up to warm. It'll be nice and warm and cozy, and I'll get my tea, and then I'll fall asleep like that. Yeah. It's usually, I don't know, for some reason, like, just the...
You get in your body in, like, the prime condition
I guess,
of, like,
yeah,
it's nice and like, cozy, a little tea. Just like, oh, yeah, I could fall asleep. Yeah.
And then it's always just like Warhammer lore or audiobooks that I have listened to like 20 times.
See, I was gonna say, because I can't do audiobook because my brain will go, no, but like listen, they're getting to the good part, and like
that's what puts me to sleep.
No, see,
it's because it's the opposite. It's me listening to something I'm interested in instead of my brain thinking about 20 million different things at the same time. And so it's if something's actually interesting, that's a good.
See, mine is the opposite, where it's like I just need white noise versus like, because if I tried putting on an audiobook, I'd just stay up because I'm like, no, keep listening. This is good. It's getting really good. I want to know what happens to the character. I got to keep going.
Because like immediately I'd be like, just listen. Like I'll send you some Luton Warhammer lore videos. They're so good.
See, those I could probably fall asleep. Well, maybe
the tone of what he talks. What's so good about like what I can do is like. I can't put a video on that's like people yelling.
Well, you've seen I can of like the Funhouse video.
Yeah, like I can't do people yelling.
I can throw that shit on easy.
Or anything that gets like extra loud. It has to be like somebody with a monotone voice that's just like talking slowly. And
I went to bed relatively recently within the past couple months of James Earl Jones reading the Bible.
Whoa.
Yeah, he just reads the New Testament. I was like, damn, this is kind of cozy. What the fuck? Okay. And just fall asleep. It was great.
In the diary of James Earl Jones. So, last week we didn't record, but we did see Deadpool and Wolverine. And it was amazing. If you haven't seen it, spoilers.
Well, if you haven't seen it yet, Ryan Reynolds is now posting spoilers to his Instagram because he's like, hey, it's been a week. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And he's just posting like, hey, we got this person back. They're great. Yeah. Hey, look at this person. It was really good to work with them again. And you're just like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Ryan does not give a fuck.
So, I mean...
He gave him the customary, like, whatever the etiquette is. I think it's like a week. Is that you go, hey, don't spoil it for a week, and then you can safely spoil, because now it's like, you've had a week, you should have gone to see it type shit or whatever. And yeah, Ryan Reynolds is now posting all the, like, we worked with Jennifer Garner and Daphne Keane and all these. Look at the characters they brought back. I don't think he's posted about...
let's get into it.
Spoilers for Deadpool Wolverine. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's great. It's a phenomenal movie. It's the best MCU movie since Guardians 3. Go watch it.
Would you say it's better than Endgame?
Yeah.
I do too, well, and I feel like that's a hot take.
No, it's not better than Endgame. It's better than Endgame, but it's not better than Infinity War. Infinity War, because it's the Infinity War Part 1, Endgame Part 2.
I think...
to me, Infinity War is one of the best Marvel movies.
Infinity War is the second one.
First one.
Really?
Endgame is the one where it's like...
Everyone comes back.
Everybody comes back, the cap on your left.
I think that's people's, like... Die hard like Marvel fans, that's their favorite movie.
From what I've seen, I think that's the one that people are most hyped for because it has the hype moments. But like, if you actually break down, like, well, no, what's a good movie? It usually comes down to like Infinity War, Winter Soldier, Civil War's up there too.
I will give it to
Guardians
those movies
3
really
recently.
building a good villain. That is what I can definitely say is they really build Thanos to like comic level shit.
Well, that's what made the first like saga of Marvel really good, is because from the beginning it was like Thanos. Like when you get to obviously
it was Guardians that first had Thanos.
No, Thanos was in Avengers 1.
Yeah, you're right. But you just see him on the throne when he kills the guy on the throne.
Well, that's in Guardians, because the first time you see Thanos is him going up to the Infinity Gauntlet saying, "Fine, I'll do it myself," and that's it. And I think you might see him in Thor because of Loki shit, because he goes into a portal or whatever.
Okay.
But then you see him in Guardians because he's Ronan's master or whatever the fuck, and he's on the throne sitting there. And then Ronan's like, "I will get you the Infinity Stone," and he's just like, "You're a pussy." And that's your first like, oh, we actually see him, not just a CGI thing they did off the side to be like, oh, maybe.
Which is fun because I heard a story is essentially they were trying to get like some other people, and like there was just a lot of different people that were supposed to be cast at for different roles.
Do you know when it was Josh Brolin? Was it for Infinity War, or was he earlier?
No, it was Guardians is when they actually gave him the role, which is like really cool that they were kind of the ones to decide that.
Because I know I feel like there was 2 moments before Guardians. One where Thanos like turns towards the camera and you see Purple Face with a helmet,
and it looks and the face is very different.
And then you see him reach for the gauntlet in one, and that
was the first one. Okay. That was Avengers.
Yeah, that one was the Avengers one, because they were like, what a Loki? Oh, like, where did he get this thing? And you see the gauntlet with like, it had missing stones, right? Or was it?
I don't think it had any stones when you put it on.
But like. Time. Pretty much teasing that for a whole time, where that was the looming threat the whole time. That's what's made this fucking phase so bad, is because they've tried to do everything.
Yeah, they're like, this is the villain now, instead of like this long build of like. I mean, I will say like how they did it in the Justice League movie, how they built up Darkseid was good, because even though he was like. He's the bigger villain. They give you they kind of build him up a little bit more.
Well, the problem with Justice League, and then when you actually break down that it was supposed to be a few movie arcs, the fact that Batman v Superman was the death of Superman as your second movie in your whole universe is fucking stupid. But I agree, where they made Darkseid legitimately terrifying of like a villain. Because you first get and I'm talking about not the shitty Justice League movie, Zack Snyder's one, where Steppenwolf is like, okay, he's actually kind of a threat, there's problems here, and then you see Darkseid is like, oh, he's worse.
That's exactly what they do well in that. But I still think Deadpool and Wolverine was better.
Deadpool and Wolverine is probably, because to me Deadpool and Wolverine is just another one of the like single movies. Even though it's Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, it's not a team up movie. It's not Avengers. Like, to me, it's
not a team up movie.
Well, like, it's just Deadpool Wolverine. It's not the X-Men as a whole. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
It's a team up movie though.
But it's not the Avengers. It's not the X-Men. That's what I mean. Like, it's a duo.
It's a duo. I consider an X-Men team up movie.
There's one X-Men. That's what I'm getting at. Is they're not the X-Men.
What about
versus they're not.
There's
the
actually a shitload.
Well, there's fair.
Yeah, just not on the team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When I say like team up, it's not the Avengers or the X-Men or fucking Inhumans or Eternals, whatever. It's not like here's the movie about the group of people.
Most
two.
Deadpool comics are team ups with him and Spider-Man, him and Wolverine, him and Cable.
You see him and Hugh Jackman. We're like, we want to work with Tom Holland.
I would love that.
And I saw some people be like, oh no, they're gonna make jokes about Tom Holland, like, so because some people were upset that they're gonna make sexual jokes at Tom Holland's expense, and I'm like, one, Tom Holland's an adult. Two, now Spider-Man is an adult. It's all fair game. Deadpool can be as gay as he wants towards that little twink. He's gonna be fine.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I don't know. To me, like, Deadpool and Wolverine is definitely one of the upper tier Marvel movies for me. But to like my top three is like now is still Winter Soldier is the best one to me. I fucking love that movie. It's got like the spy thriller. It's got some Metal Gear Solid like fucking politics with secret governments and all this. I fucking love that movie.
What's crazy about Winter Soldier though is they recycled a scene from Community that they already made. The elevator scene.
Oh really?
They made for the paintball episode of Community, and then they were like, "Let's just put that in Winter Soldier."
That's way funnier now that I know that, because it's like, oh god. Well, also, and then that I'm not gonna lie, that callback in game was also really fun.
Yes.
Where he's like, Hydra, and they're like, oh, they're like, Cap's in on it? Holy shit, we're awesome. Like, you know those dudes were bricked up going, Hydra's fucking in.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
But like if I think about like my favorite movies and kind of how I rank them, like they're obviously like my top 20. I mean, you know, just my top movies. There's so many different genres and different like it's just a widespread, but it all comes kind of like down to like there's like definitely like categories that each one excels in that puts it in a top spot. So it could be like VFX, it could just be like storytelling, it could be just the casting and the characters, it could be just personality of a movie. And Deadpool and Wolverine, just the personality of the movie itself is a 10 out of 10. It just has such a personality that you fall in love with it from the moment you're starting to watch it. And that's kind of like yeah, sure, like maybe the story could be shit, but like I couldn't care. I was enthralled the entire time.
I think that's where I put it below like Winter Soldier and Infinity War for me, and even to me below Guardians 3. I fucking loved Guardians 3. Like I was crying in that theater with that movie. I fucking loved it. It like Deadpool Wolverine is my fourth favorite Marvel movie. Out of those like three, it's number 4 immediately. Like, and I'm even adding in all the X-Men, all the stuff, like Logan's up there and everything. It's 4. It's definitely the best of the X-Men projects that's ever come out. Period. To me,
Logan's hard to top for me.
Logan is phenomenal, but like it's because I don't know, like there's something about this movie where I'm like they still both respected it and disrespected it at the same time that I was cool with that. I'm like, Logan can stand on its own. To me, Logan transcends kind of superhero movies to me in like the same way like kind of Spider-Man, like original Spider-Man 2
It's definitely more of a human story.
Yeah, like Spider-Man 2 is another one of those, like the original Tobey Maguire, just because like it's a superhero movie, but like it felt way more real when I watched it. Like I mean,
it has like a very similar like story point or like emotional plot points that like Last of Us have.
Well, Logan, absolutely, yeah. Logan's a Western all through and through in terms of its like story structure and shit. Like you could have taken
it's like a newer Clint Eastwood movie.
I was gonna say 100%. You could put Clint Eastwood in the role of Logan in that movie, and it probably would have worked because like everything in that, like I don't know, it's just so fucking good.
It also like Logan is kind of we never got to do the stuff we wanted to do. Let's do a little bit of it now, and then it's over. And then Deadpool and Wolverine is like, we're gonna do all that shit, dig him up. Let's do it again.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's a fair point. I think that you're like totally allowed because, as I said, my thing is that this movie has such great personality that it puts it above other movies, and so like it
personality is the same reason I like the Guardians movies, and it's because James Gunn is phenomenal at just
agreed
doing a ragtag group of misfits like the Suicide Squad. I'm super hyped for that Creature Commando animated series he's got coming out that looks stupid fun.
Well, how many episodes of the Isekai did we watch? Like 3?
We watched like 3 or 4, and it's really good. I want to go back and finish it. But
I want to finish it because I want to watch it because I've seen like a couple dub moments, and Clayface seems to be the funniest character in the whole show.
Clayface is pretty hilarious.
King Shark is
great.
I mean, but he's always like
King Shark's always gonna be the fun one.
He always is. That's like the thing is like it's so hard to consider him a villain when you're like. He's just a big teddy bear.
Yeah, he's just a big boy.
He's just hungry. That's all.
Either of you see this little King Shark fact for people? But did either of you see Justice League Dark Apocalypse War? They're really rated R one, where it's like the dark side wins, end of the world. They're killing superheroes left and right. It's actually really cool.
Is it
animated?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In there, Constantine is one of the main characters, and he shows up and he's like, "Bloody hell, that's my ex." And someone's like, "You dated Harley?" He goes, "Fuck no, I'm not crazy." And then King Shark turns around and winks at Constantine, and he's like, "Oh," and I think it was Raven was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
I love that.
I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude!"
I would give anything to have a Wesley Snipes and Keanu Reeves
team up for Constantine. But see, out of any,
even though,
and that would be the only like Marvel DC connection I want. Honestly,
yes,
I don't care to see Batman and Captain America fight. I don't like any of that. Fuck that. I want to see Constantine and Blade. That'd be the sickest.
It would be so. Speaking of. I know you were all both of you were like hyped about the Gambit shit.
Just
because I didn't know about Wesley Snipes. When Wesley Snipes came on screen, I tried to like gauge match reaction, but I was too enthralled.
But then you heard me go, "Oh shit!"
Yo, no, literally,
my jaw hit the fucking floor.
The whole time in the movie, anytime stuff started happening, I just kept going.
I feel like we were definitely the most vocal row in the movie.
I mean,
theater.
we were definitely laughing the most.
Oh yeah,
dude. No,
I lost it.
I leaned the fuck over when I knew he was about to come on screen. I just went. It's like
I lost it.
I'm glad. So when you were saying, "Oh, I've learned a few things," I thought it was Elektra, Blade, and Gambit. Like I feel like because that's the only thing that mattered to me.
I saw was the Deadpool, the other Deadpool variants, the end credits where it says who's in the costumes.
Was it because there was a fake one coming around too? One that had like Sabrina Carpenter and all them. That was fake.
I think the one that I saw also had like it might have been the fake one that had like John Krasinski. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that's the one I saw.
That's the fake one. The real one is just the only ones that were of note were Blake Lively as Ladypool and then Matthew McConaughey as Western Deadpool. And then his daughter.
Nathan Fillion's the head. Skeleton. Yeah,
he's the head one. Yeah. And then Blake and Ryan's daughter was Kidpool, who was the one who yelled and be like, "Get Wolverine's dick out of your mouth." And I'm like, fucking great.
And then Babypool is supposed to be their
their other kid?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It's not. It's full CG.
Well, yeah, but like they probably had them on set in like a Deadpool
they might have just gotten
shit.
some baby noises from their kid, like mic'd up. But the other thing I told you, like when they're fighting and the Greatest Showman song comes on.
Yeah.
In
one frame,
you see a what is it called? A circus like Deadpool. In one frame in the background with the top hat.
Nice.
That's all you see him, and then it's just one guy that's just Hugh Jackman in The Greatest Showman.
But then we get some of the best cameos ever. Because like, the thing that I love about Deadpool Wolverine 2 is it is, even as shitty as some of those movies were, it was like a love letter to the Fox universe. Anything that Fox did that was Marvel, they were like, we're going to give it love. So Blade, Daredevil, and Elektra, which that joke was the funniest, was like low-key funny where...
What? I missed that.
So he goes, Daredevil, oh, I'm so sorry. And Elektra, who's Jennifer Garner, the actual ex-wife now of Ben Affleck.
Oh.
And he's like, oh yeah, he's dead. She goes, I don't really care. was a joke of that. And I was like, oh, that's good. But so you have that. You've got, obviously, the X-Men. Johnny, yeah, the Fantastic
Blaze.
Four.
That was the moment where I was really like locked in, because me and my dad used to watch those Fantastic Four movies all the fucking time, and realizing that they brought that Human Torch back, I was like,
is Johnny Blaze a mutant?
No, they got
the Fantastic Four got their space powers,
cosmic radiation.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, so nobody's racist towards them.
Yeah. The powers were given to them.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. No, there's a running joke that Reed Richards is mad that his son's a mutant because he didn't get his powers the right way, by freak acts like cosmic radiation.
Wild.
It's like a bit that apparently,
the end credit scene, incredible.
Dude, again, playing to Green Day, the one Green Day song that everybody's like, oh no, I'm about to start crying, aren't I? And just all little behind the scenes bit,
dude, was so emotional.
It was so good.
And yeah, because I turned to you guys and I said, "What the fuck is this? Like, why are they doing this? This is beautiful. Why are they doing this?" And then you're like, "Oh, it's like a love letter to Fox and X-Men." And I said,
ending it with that 20th Century Fox logo, because you're never gonna see that in a movie ever again. And it's like, oh damn. you looked at that because like Alien was Fox, like all these other movies, old Star Wars was Fox. So you kind of looked at that and go, damn, I'm really never gonna see that again.
Furious?
Universal.
No, that's Universal. You're right.
But like you look at all those, like I remember like the Fox logo, and I'm being like, oh shit. Like I remember as a kid.
Of course, every VHS.
Yeah, dude, and it's kind of sad. We're never gonna see that again.
Yeah,
and it's and again, to be fair, like they are now called 20th Century Studios, which is what this one was made with. It was obviously Disney as well, Marvel Studios, but they were like 20th Century Studios is like if you got like the Blu-ray and looked on the back, that's gonna be like the main studio who made it, because I think that's where Ryan Reynolds is.
Well, okay, remember in Deadpool 2 when the end credit scene where he
goes back in time over and over again?
No,
where he kills baby Hitler, or
no,
was he gonna get Cable to do it?
No. It's the one with who's the person that did the song? It might have been behind the scenes.
The song? Oh, Celine Dion.
Celine Dion, where he's watching her and he's like, "That is too like this is not no. This is a Deadpool movie. We can't.
That was just in
too." He was like, "That was too good." And he says, "Next time, we're getting in sync."
Yeah. That was just the music video for that song.
Video, that's
and
what
it ends, so she's singing. It's got scenes in the movie, and then it ends, and Deadpool's like, "Oh wow, what this?
We're gonna have to do it again. That was too good."
And then he was a man of his word.
And he's like, "Bring it down like 4 levels." She said, "This voice only goes to 120, or only goes to 12."
Yeah, the opening like credit sequence was really
Stellar.
incredible.
It's the most, because I opened TikTok like after I watched the movie the second time. And like the first 10 of them were all people like, "Oh, what are you thinking about?" Like he's very like thought like what is he thinking about over there? And it's just the Deadpool intro going in this dude's brain.
What's so weird though is both BJ and I had the same experience on TikTok, where before we weren't getting spoilers.
The second
the
you watched
day
the movie,
we watched it, it just exploded.
Yeah.
Yep. Same with me on YouTube. I opened YouTube and the first thing was, it literally not even hiding it. Wesley Snipes cameo in Deadpool
Is
Wolverine,
that
and
the-
he's fucking
so
that was the thing that I scrolled right past.
When we were buying tickets, before we met up with you at the at Drake's,
You're just watching YouTube videos, whatever.
Videos, and then I like clicked back on the YouTube home screen and just kind of walked away. And then Luke like rushed to sit in my desk, and I was like, "Oh, like what are you doing? Like what are you looking up?" And he goes, "There's something on your screen that I needed to like scroll down past." And I was like, "What?"
I had to scroll down twice, by the way, because the first one was Henry Cavill's Wolverine cameo, and then I scrolled again, and then it said Wesley Snipes. I was like, "Fuck!" It's like, damn it. And
it's exactly what Deadpool says is like in the movie about Henry Cavill is.
Finally, it's what we want.
We would treat you way better than
the folks next door.
Than the folks next door.
Honestly, no. Did you see Henry Cavill's post he did on that? He posted about it because it's the week after. You can tell spoilers. He goes, "And just in case, I shaved the mustache off for this one because of the fucking CGI shit."
So,
and I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure if they pull X-Men stuff, because apparently this is all rumor stuff, but apparently now they're not gonna just focus on doing like an X-Men movie with new actors. Apparently, if they have to pull X-Men, they might just say fuck it and pull from the Fox universe stuff.
Well,
because right now,
so I listened to
ahead.
the behind the scenes with the director and Ryan when they've been doing all these post movie interviews.
Did he mention that this is technically not Deadpool 3? It's
no. What they were talking about was that with the Henry Cavill thing, they were like talking about it, and then Ryan was like, "Oh, let me just send him a," and it all happened in the span of 15 minutes of reaching out to Henry then saying like, "Yeah, of course," and then that was it. In 15 minutes they got him in the movie, and I was like, I just love that so much.
Well, you can tell they cared because like all the Wolverine variants they were finding were all from like famous comic books. You had,
the one on the cross,
dude, fucking crazy. I was like, wow, never thought I'd see this in live action ever. All the bloody skulls of every mutant available. You've got Mutant X-1000 or whatever it is, where it's like the Omega one.
The one where he shows the Hulk in the claws.
That was dope.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, hey, green or yellow and brown. Didn't you find the Hulk in this one? Turns out, I am Marvel Jesus. And you there's actual old man Logan, just sitting on the porch and shoots him with a shotgun.
Yeah.
I loved the
comic accurate
short Wolverine. And then
who's my little short king?
The scene in the TVA where he's like watching how he'll go on in the Marvel universe, and he sees Thor like holding him and crying, And then that goes on to be like a bit throughout the whole movie.
Every time he wakes up, it's Thor.
Why was Thor crying?
I would not be shocked because it looked like reused footage from Dark World, but someone was like looking at it and being like, "No, this looks different." Like especially, so I'm wondering, did they just shoot a thing that's gonna show up in Secret Wars?
Chris Hemsworth made a tweet that was like, "I can keep secrets too."
Oh, dude,
what?
Dude, no. The thing that makes that so much funnier is that if we get Deadpool in the Avengers, which you're gonna, of course, this made too much money. The fact that we're gonna get a Thor Deadpool comedy team up, I am so down for it. I am so down. Again, as long as it's not written by Taika Waititi.
Yeah,
he did one really good one, and then went too far in the second one.
I kind of hope that it's him and Ryan Reynolds because that would be a crazy Green Lantern reunion.
Oh, that's true.
They were in Free Guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he was, and homie from Stranger Things. I forget his Steve.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Steve's in that too.
Steve Carter.
I liked Free Guy. It was fun, but like it
GTA the movie.
Pretty much, yeah. I still think his Adam Project was better.
Yeah. I liked Adam Project.
Yeah.
So did you watch that?
It makes me so angry. The only thing that pisses me off is why we've had 5 fucking directors and 3 writers for the new Blade movie. When we see this and it's like.
Well, did you see immediately when this movie came out and got like popular buzz? Immediately was like, we're doing rated R, and apparently now they're in talks with apparently one of the older directors.
And also, I know that like the new actor I think will do great.
He's not Wesley Snipes.
But why can't we do it? Like this just proves to me
man.
why Wesley Snipes can still do it.
There's only ever gonna be one Blade.
Isn't he retired? Isn't that the bit that like people were shocked that he was in this movie because of it? Isn't he like fully retired? I could be wrong, but and again, Disney throwing a Marvel bag at you might get you to act again. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true.
It got Hugh Jackman back. Till you're 90.
That was just the Rick and Morty, like Rick and Morty forever. It's gonna be 100 adventures,
100 years. Rick and Morty.
The bit too.
And Morty's just like.
I love the re-up of it where he's like. Because it was in the car crash. He's like, oh, he's going to be in the Marvel till he's 90. And they're talking to the TV agents like, yeah, he's back for good this time. Till you're 90. I don't know why whisper jokes get me where it's just like, nah, this is way funnier.
I also love...
I can break the fourth wall, too.
The proposal.
The proposal.
What the fuck was that? Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts because I love the proposal.
That's the one. Who's the chick in it?
Sandy B.
Sandra Bullock, and she's like the executive that needs her green card. Yes, and then she's like, "Oh, we're going to your hick town to your hick farm," and then he goes, "Why is your name on all these buildings?" It's like, "Yeah, my family like owns the town," and she's like, "What?" Yeah.
When does your healing factor kick in? What healing factor?
Oh.
You killed him.
You're
it's
gonna
like,
live.
I'm gonna...
And they said, no, he died from murder.
I love...
he said, yeah, he died from a broken heart.
No, dickhead, he died from murder.
He died from murder.
I love too, Wolverine just pulls the dog out. Wait, don't shoot! They're all like... Oh shit!
We all have a Pete.
Yeah. We all have a Peter.
Peter being their saving grace was great,
bro. With the massive nuts. Did you see?
Yeah, massive nuts and massive gut. Yeah, was going.
And he says some people. He's like, let me tell you a story about somebody who got like a chain between their nipple piercings, and then you see it later at the party,
and it's him.
Yeah. And then he pulls on and he goes, oh.
The craziest part about that was they brought Shatterstar back.
Yeah, of all of them, Shatterstar was there. I wonder if it was scheduling conflicts. I feel like they would have gotten Brolin and Zazie Beetz back for Domino and Cable, but there might have just been like, we can't. Fuck it, Shatterstar. That's funnier.
Yeah.
Also, I love how much Blind Al
Translucent could have been there, or what's?
Yeah, that's right. He could have been there. He just could have been there somewhere.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah, Brad Pitt was in this movie somewhere.
It's true.
That would have been really funny just to put his name on the.
He was in there, and then they just go, "Hey, Brad, can we pay you $50 to put your name in the credits?"
100%.
He's like, "Sure." I love that too because that's apparently how he got Bullet Train was because he did the cameo for Deadpool 2, and that director went on to do Bullet Train. He's like, "Hey, yo, Brad, you wanna do this?"
There you go.
But let's fully just talk about like the cameos. I mean, full on Wesley Snipes obviously.
Yeah, we haven't talked.
But then
really
we got
Gambit.
Gambit was the biggest one for at least me and BJ because we know how much this motherfucker has wanted to do Gambit.
And I've loved Gambit since I was a kid. So when that was all popping off, I was like, God, please let it happen. And it never fucking did.
Apparently his movie got full can.
Who's your
once
accent
Disney
coach? The
bought
Minions?
Yeah, that was
I
a good
feel like
bit.
we're missing critical exposition.
The thing too, I love that they put him in the full Gambit uniform, despite how bad it kind of looked in areas.
I mean, it's just full comic accurate. You can't get much better than that.
Well, the thing is too, I know for a fact that they probably would have. It's the same thing with.
The best part though was getting comic accurate Wolverine.
Yeah, the short one.
Well, seeing all of them.
No, but I meant like
seeing Short King Wolverine,
like the uniform.
Well, yeah. Well, we got the
And
fact.
then I didn't. I mean, I assumed it was gonna happen, but I was like, before when we were at Drake's, I was like, BJ, I can't wait for when he puts the
helmet
the
on,
cowl on.
I like,
and then he does.
I had to not fucking speak because I was like, for a second I almost went, "How did you know?" And I went, "No, shut the fuck up. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. There's no way he knows."
Well, I mean, the
Also,
popcorn bucket.
I'm so.
I mean, I guess, but like even still,
I'm so into the white eyes.
dude.
White eyes looks so good.
I need
Give
my
it to Batman.
Nightwing and my Batman all to have that shit.
Yeah,
the
dude,
white eyes works.
It really does.
It will 100%
Even
work.
on like a really like.
Because a domino mask with no white eyes looks like shit.
stupid as shit.
Thanks, Titans.
Yeah, like think about how badass Batman would look.
Everything else.
Oh, especially if you do Beyond.
And if you do detective vision, then you can have the eyes go blue when he activates it.
Dude,
it's great.
I just need also a Beyond. It would be so easy.
we were so
The
close.
fucking Spider-Verse people were supposed to make Batman Beyond next.
And
then
DC said
was
no.
like, no, thank you.
and so then they went and did
I'd
Spider-Verse.
be also okay with it. Like obviously the Spider-Verse people would probably do it better, but I'd also be super down for a live action. Like Beyond Eye is like the first Batman animated series
Because you know it would just be
that
like...
I liked and watched in total, and I was like, this is the shit. And then I had like. Then I got the little like action figures, and then I started getting into more Batman action figures, and then I got like the Batcave. You know, like when you're
the
a
full
kid,
playset thing. That,
yeah,
like,
the
opened
play
up.
sets where you could like open up a closet, and it was just a sticker of something in
But
the
you're
closet.
sitting there going, "Oh, it's the fucking thing!"
Yeah, you're like, yeah. I had the Batcave, like little set, and then I tried to just get as many like Batman action figures as I could, and so I had like an ice one. And a bunch
There
of
were
other
so
cool-
many goddamn Batman action
Yeah,
figures.
'cause they
with
gave him a
suits
new-
that just didn't matter.
Yeah.
They gave him a suit like this suit. He can fight in a fucking volcano, and I'm like, okay, nope.
But
that
the
works.
Beyond one that I had was really cool because it was like rubber for his gloves and his boots, and it did the thing with the pointing things on his cowls. That so
Beyond is
or
the
cowls are
the cowl is this.
Cowl,
This
it's
is
on the,
like
like-
the fins or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. Beyond is so good though. Like honestly, I fucking love it, and it made
Simu Liu maybe.
I'd be cool with that.
he could probably do a really good Terry McGinnis. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want it to be just a mixture between the Batman and Blade Runner.
You know what it could be is that guy from Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the TikTok I made of our fan cast for Berserk?
I've not. No, I need to. I saw you post it today, so I was like, all right, I need to-
I'll you just look through it.
dude, I need a. If they do it, who would you want to be Old Man Batman? Because I'm saying Ben Affleck.
I think Ben Affleck would
He could
work
do it.
best because that way you can kind of give him a little bit of redemption there.
Yeah.
What it might be hard, but Tom Hardy, maybe.
For Batman though.
I don't know. He's old and grizzled.
He's
Yeah, but-
old and grizzled, but he can be old grizzled Bane.
That's true.
Yeah. I still.
Oh
don't-
yeah, because I'm forgetting that he was already. Bane.
I still don't like his Bane, but that's just because Bane in the comics is like way better in my opinion.
Well, also, like
he basically wasn't
huge.
Bane.
He would just
Well,
be.
that, yeah.
He would just be all CGI.
Well, the thing too is
Well,
like
not unless they got Alan Richardson to
Yeah, Alan
be
Richardson-
That's
Bane.
true. That's-
Alan Richardson, Dave Bautista, or The Rock. Honestly, could just be
Dave
Bane.
Bautista would be an incredible Bane.
Yeah. No, see, that's what I'm saying. Give me that Bane.
And that's a Luke.
I don't want to deal with fucking. Again, Tom Hardy did a good job with what he was given, but like,
It always reminds me of that old College Humor video where they're like, "We got
Manu
this."
Bennett would be fucking a great.
Oh, you know
extra.
who Amon Bennett, dude?
Fucking Slade in the first 2 seasons of Arrow. He was in.
Okay,
yeah.
Amon Bennett. Carmen came up with that, and she showed us a picture, and we're like,
Manu Bennett.
oh fuck, that's actually
100%.
that's really good.
Oh fuck yeah, homie from Stranger Things. Yeah,
Look at his it's his
Smarmy
it's his
little fuck.
jawline and those cheekbones that really is.
He just has to grow the hair out.
Smart
I
little
did.
fuck.
I'll show you in a second the Mid Journey.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Fuck.
100%.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that actually kind of works. Scott. Is Lobo? What is his name? Lobo? Whatever.
Yeah, as
Percy Jackson
as Judo.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Dave Bautista
As Pippin.
Yeah, it works 100%. Oh fuck yeah, Mads
Mads as
Mikkelsen.
As the
Did
king.
you see Orlando Bloom as Roderick?
I have not gotten that far yet.
I don't think you put him on
I
there.
don't think I did either.
Yeah, you didn't.
Oh, yeah, Orlando Bloom is Roderick, which would make, even though he's older, but BJ made a good point of that it's an arranged marriage with him and Furness, so it's like, it makes sense for him to be older.
You can just kind of be like,
and, it's just a total callback to,
Pirates.
Roderick is Will Turner.
Yeah, he definitely is.
So
same fit, same hair.
Yeah, 100%.
I definitely think, I'm kind of agreeing with you guys more and more about, like, Berserk kind of has to be live action, but then at the same time, I feel like there's some things that I feel like outfit wise or like gear or whatever, that they're gonna try to change, obviously, because like I think that's kind of the difference in like doing an art form like a manga. You can draw whatever the fuck you want and it will work, but the second you try to go, how can we make this work in live action, you'd be like, oh shit, that doesn't really.
Well, there's just so many things about Berserk that lend itself well to live action. Like, we've already seen like dark fantasy shit done really well with Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, like, it's Berserk is very much a human story, and it's not about power even though it clearly has all of that in it about power.
But like the power scaling shit doesn't really show up until Shirk comes in.
It's true, but it's not really about. It's just about.
And the thing is, by that point,
you could journey of guts. It's this horrific like life and story that's both beautiful and just so dark.
By the time Sheer comes in, though, if you've gotten that far, you clearly have
they
like
could
a budget
clearly
that you could push even further. Yeah,
you could clearly draw this into like a Game of Thrones hour-long episode. You could do Golden Age
and have it be the new Game of Thrones.
Honestly, yeah,
yeah.
That is
season
the thing.
Finale.
Would you
one
start?
Season is Griffith and Guts versus Zod, and it's just dark dungeon. They see the blood everywhere.
Would you start Golden Age first, or would you go Black Swordsman?
I'd start Golden Age.
I think that's how you get people in, because could you imagine
the twist would
be?
That's
okay. Yeah. As I said, I know how it's written, but I cannot tell people how good it was. The way I read it, where I did not know that Griffith was going to do that.
Yeah.
And the betrayal, like, it was so much more visceral for me. And that's like that experience alone, I'm even getting chills thinking about that's like really what also just kept me in. It was that I had no fucking clue, and then it went horrific. It went so horrifying and dark that it
literally became a horror manga for a while.
Yes,
I was like,
and see, that's the thing that's
scared
hard
to turn a page.
Those are the things that's hard about live action, is how do you do like the Eclipse with monsters that are just like overflowing on top of each other.
I think the best way to do the Eclipse and the Zod fight is to just bake everything in a layer of darkness and just have like CGI shapes moving around, because then it's almost like, one, they can't comprehend what's happening, two, it's scary as fuck because they can't really see, and that makes sense for the Eclipse.
Though,
it's the time where
I just want it to be handled well enough, because to like, obviously CGI, and we've seen like everything from scary movies to Stranger Things to like other sci-fi movies.
I mean, shit, like, Stranger Things does CGI really fucking well.
Yeah, we've seen monsters done well, but it's different than it's like these are like from the depths of hell. Like, people would die just seeing them.
Looking
like,
at them,
would have like that's like how horrific these monsters are.
I think that is one of the, because the thing is, that's the problem where people say Berserk is unadaptable, is I think it is, because like there are things in Berserk that just will not work outside of the manga.
It's those,
and to be fair, I think anybody who wants a good Berserk adaptation knows that, where they're like, we're gonna take, like, to me, as long as you get the characters right, the other fantasy stuff, you can kind of go, it's better than the manga, but like, damn, the voice actor's killing it for Guts. Like, you can kind of forgive other things, and I think the demons are one of those where you're like, it's not going to be as good as the manga, but as long as
it's those like full page panels that Mira does, where it just is like so much in one.
Well, it's legitimately
page that you're like overwhelmed,
especially when you get to the Elf Island. And there's just creatures upon creatures.
Yes.
You could just take those panels as like one poster, and that'd be a painting you put in your house, and people would go, whoa, what is that? And you could make up some bullshit live, like, oh, is this Artur from France who made somebody, and they'd be like, I can see that. Like that you 100%.
Dealing with the inner demons of his heroin addiction.
Yeah, and they would believe it. Like that's the thing. It's so good.
Yeah.
Like
While we're on the topic of horrific and way too real, we need to talk
watch
about
some shit.
Initial D got way too real.
We had last night was probably the best watching we've ever done.
Because we got to a point where you hadn't seen it anymore.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was the last thing before. Now it was before yesterday was the last I'd seen of it, and so I was like looking up. We were like, oh, let's watch the next episode, and we clicked down in Disney Plus, which is now Hulu.
There's no next,
and there was no next, and we were like, what? And I was like, dude, there's more. I like there's 2 movies. Like even Luke said that there's like 2 movies.
Well, they have like I think they did third lap or fourth lap, which are movies, I think, and then they did remakes of the first. I don't know.
So how it goes is then the next in at least
season 2 ends with an OVA that you'd never seen.
It's an OVA. This is just like how it was put out, because the OVA then goes back in time to about like what happens in the middle of like season 3 essentially, or at least like halfway in
right
season
before
2.
season 2.
Yeah.
Because it's the Land Evo guys. They're already talking about him, but they haven't shown up to Akine yet.
Yeah. So it's like the story about the 2 chicks in Blue Impact, Mako and Sayuchi, and like their thing, and it's just 2 like episodes that they turned into an OVA. So it's just 40 minutes long, and then that's called Extra Stage, Initial D Extra Stage, and then after that is Stage 3,
which is the movie.
And we looked, and it wasn't anywhere on the TV because we did.
Yeah, we searched it up just through Roku.
You know how you do the voice thing, yeah.
And it just said not available.
Nice.
But everything else had somewhere we could watch it, and I was like, this can't be how it is.
And that's why I was like, this is so fucked. If like what's gonna stop us from watching is that it's just not available, because I've enjoyed these nights as BJ watching Initial D, and have him enjoyed as much as me has been like brought me so much joy. And I was like, I guess it all ends here. And so he started
the friendship you guys have built starts deteriorating.
We were like, let's just check YouTube. It was on YouTube.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was a movie. It was the first movie, and it's Stage 3, and
they covered so much ground.
They covered so much ground, and
so you're saying it got super real?
I mean, yeah, you pop off.
So, well, in the OVA, you get a little bit of that because there's this scene of Mako in the bath where she's thinking about Ikutani, and that's like the emotional core of the series so far for me. And she just like stands up, and her full titties are just out, and me and Matt both just screamed, "What the fuck!"
And then they do it one more time in the steam where you see. I mean, you see him.
Yeah, they fucking jiggle around, and there's nipple. And then I was like, that was very jarring.
Yeah.
And then we get to the movie, and then fucking what's her name, Natsuki, gets like kidnapped.
Oh,
by this guy,
ex-boyfriend
that Takumi beat up. Before the series
it's
starts.
like one of the first couple episodes that they cover it, like he sees Natsuki at school in the first couple episodes, and he has a flashback to when he punches this guy who's talking about like him and Natsuki are gonna like doing crazy stuff. He's like, I'm gonna get her, I'm gonna like fuck her tonight. And he's like, oh, you want? He's like, I'm gonna get her to do everything. I'm gonna get it. He's like, shut the fuck up, and just
decks him.
Yeah. And then that's in the first thing. And I was like, I don't really know if they talk about it, but they don't go into detail at all.
But it's like, is it like very heavily implied she got fucking...
No, that like she heard about it and she was like, hey, I heard you stood up for me, and like that, and he's like, oh, why are you talking to me? He's like, well, I wanted to thank you. Like last year you stood up to me.
That's where it all starts. Mm-hmm. And then in the movie, he like comes home from college and he like goes to her job at McDonald's. And he's like, hey, I'm going to give you a ride home after this. And he's like trying to like grab on her at work and everything. And she's like, don't fucking touch me. Like, I'm at work. Like, just go away. And he's like, no, when do you get off? I'm going to take you home. And she's like, fine, 30 minutes, just go. And then he like goes outside, and then she gets out and like gets into his car. And it's like snowing heavily. And they're like driving up the mountain, and she's like, "Where are you taking me? Like, this isn't the way to my house." And he's like, "We're gonna fuck, and I'm gonna do whatever I want to." And he's like grabbing on her thigh. And she's like, "Stop fucking touching me."
The ex.
Yeah.
I for whatever reason thought you were talking about Takumi for a minute. I was like, "What the fuck happened?"
No.
Okay.
And then she's like, "No, I have somebody that I'm like in love with," and he fucking slaps her in the face
multiple times throughout this whole.
He slaps her in the face once in the car, and she's like, "Pull over." And she jumps out and runs away from the car. And he gets out and fucking chases her through a snowy field and assumedly tackles her to the ground, because the next shot is him like sitting on top of her while she's like laying in the snow. And then he slaps her 2 more times. And he's like, "You're going to do whatever the fuck I say you're going to do." And she calls Takumi, and she's like, "Takumi, I'm on the mountain. Please help." And then Takumi has no fucking clue what's going on. He just heads up there. And he passes them while he's like on the way to a rest stop or whatever, and he does a full like 180 drift and just catches up to him again. It was great, but Natsuki didn't tell him what was up so that he didn't beat the fuck out of this guy again.
Yeah, it was like interesting because they've been in movies. It makes sense. Like it's not like the normal 3 episodes for a race.
An arc, yeah.
For a race, you know, and this one the races are like over pretty quick. And we'd like already gotten like by that point 2 races, and then I was like, wait, they're just disguising another race as him rescuing, because it's like he's chasing after her, and he's like, he shouldn't be able to catch me. I'm in a 4-wheel drive with this little puny 8.6. How is that possible? Which is the same dialogue every person.
Yeah,
every person. I was like, wait, they're just disguising like
a kidnapping as a race.
Yeah, a kidnapping as a race. I see what you did here.
Also, Takashi and Shingo are definitely gay.
Yeah, 100%. There's this like they're from different
teams,
different clubs. Yeah, and they like for some I don't know how.
Is that the 2 people that were on the bypass? Be like, dude, don't stand next to me.
Yes. Yeah, they have a moment that's exactly like that, except they're definitely holding hands off screen.
And then he says like, bro, don't be so, like, don't stand so close to me. People will start to think we're like. Friends, and then he says friends, but I was thinking like
fucking
yeah facts.
But like also they're constantly going out to eat together. They're always calling each other on the phone. One of them is also riding shotgun in the other's car constantly. So like,
no, it does make me happy though that they've just become like so tight.
They pull a Kingdom Hearts and go, actually no.
Even though Shingo is like a total like hard ass, like, and even though he's the one who's like always inviting Takashi out, he's like, hey, I'm gonna have lunch with my friend, do you want to come? It's clear, like there's no way Takashi would have been there.
Takashi's too autistic.
If Shingo did not invite him, even though he's the one that's like the hard ass, that's like honestly like was an asshole. Like, I mean, he like almost killed Ikutani.
Yeah.
So, and then we have another movie which is Stage 4. No,
Stage 4 is a season.
A season. Oh, the end of the movie, Stage 3, they say, hope to see you again soon, because they didn't know.
Oh, it was like, we might not get to make another one.
Because they set it up for all these things, like, oh, like...
The ending was also, like, really complex, too, because Natsuki's, like, going off to college, and Takumi is like, I can't go to Tokyo with you. Like, I know now that I just want to be a driver.
And he finally does, like, the, like... any like shonen thing where he's like he finally has his purpose, which is like he's like, I want to be the very best, and I was like
no one ever was.
Exactly. That's what I said in my head. I was like, oh my god, he finally said it. Like, because before it's always I don't really like.
I don't give a fuck about anything.
I don't really like racing. This is boring. And then now he's like, I want to beat everybody, and I want to like learn as much as I can from other drivers. And yeah, so then Stage 4 is a season with like 28 episodes, and then after that there's the second OVA, which is the Ikutani
Extra Stage 2
Extra Stage 2, which is the Ikutani and Mako,
which I can't wait for.
Yes. And then I told him about
Ikutani and Mako were the other 2 who were like had their little romance thing.
Yeah,
like,
which he
fumbled the bag hard, right?
Which is like, they make even more apparent in the OVA
because they're like, he didn't even bother to call after that.
Yeah, like, okay, that dude. Okay, I gotta mention that because like that's something that's so funny about like movies and TV shows. Be like, he didn't even make an effort. Oh, I missed my chance. I'm like, y'all have cell phones. You have
I mean,
email.
he doesn't,
you
but
have
he has her
something.
number.
Yeah, he
But it's
definitely
like
does.
you have so many options, and then they'll write off some. No, the shame was too great. Shut the fuck up.
The best thing he could have done was just drive up there to Uzi the next day.
100%. Just wait there.
Exactly.
Like there's so many options, and I hate that. Like, because I'm assuming the reason is because he felt shame and like, oh, what was his reason for not calling?
Well, he was jealous because she had a previous thing for Ryosuke, and he was like, "Oh, I'll never be a guy like that." Like, and then he talks to his boss, and he's like, "You're a fucking idiot. Everybody has crushes on like people that are older than them."
It's like
This
every
girl's-
girl. That's like what being a girl is just having a crush on older guys.
And he's like, "This girl's fucking into you. If you don't go after her right now, you're fucking fired." And then he's like, "Oh shit, I guess I better go. You're right." And then he gets caught in traffic. So it's clear that he's like just inept and an idiot, and he needs to be told like how things are.
Inosuke is the taller one of his little friend group, right? Or because you've got his friend from school.
Ikutani is the taller one who's 21.
Yeah, the one that's got like the stubble.
And then Ryosuke is one of the
Takahashi brothers.
Takahashi brothers that drives the white.
I mean, of who's the main character's name again? Sorry,
Takumi.
Takami's little crew at the like
Gas station.
You have the dude with the lips that's his like friend from school.
Izuki.
Yeah, okay, yeah, him, one other guy, and then Ikutani.
Kenji.
Yeah, Ikutani is the other one that works there,
three, right?
And then there's that one guy with the red jacket that's always there
That's
but doesn't
Kenji.
work there.
Okay.
Yeah, Kenji's just doesn't work there. He just hangs out with the boys. He's a part of the Akina race.
Speed Stars.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just in my head, I'm trying to visualize because like I've just seen whatever y'all watched when I was here.
So then after that, I told him, I was like, there's actually, like, I didn't really know the direct relation to it, but I said there's like a reboot of it, and he goes like, really? And I said
The reboot were those movies I was saying, right? Where it's like the part 1, part 2, part 3 thing, or am I wrong?
I'll get to that.
Okay, sorry.
So it's called, we looked it up, it's called MF Ghost, and it's with the new GT86 car, which is, again, it's between Toyota, Scion, and Subaru all have that same car. That's the BRZ.
Mm-hmm.
It's just rebranded for the different
Yeah.
companies. So it's a lame ass car, and that's the GT86, and they use that again in this new one. BJ looked it up. It's a sequel, not to this anime, the original anime, and I didn't understand that until later. But and Takami's in it. So then when I was reading on the wiki, there was 3 things, and it was called New Initial D Legend, and it's 3 movies.
So, that's what that's the thing I was.
They basically did rebuilds.
And it's yeah, and I said, like, let's just watch it because it was on Prime.
all 3 of them.
No, let's just watch the big, because I want to finish the original anime.
Okay, yeah.
The animation in this,
Is this season 4? Or is this the remake?
remakes
Okay.
in Legends, is so fucking good.
God tier.
I was screaming. That's what I was saying. I haven't yelled this. I don't remember yelling this much at an anime since Mirio came back.
It was fucking incredible. And the best part about it is that the car races they animated in 2D.
Oh, nice.
So it's got a little bit of that like red line feel to it.
Oh,
Bro,
hell yeah, dude.
we'll show you both like the crazy shit that happened in Initial D and then the beginning bits of it. It is so fucking good.
It looks amazing.
I mean, yeah, because I think those came out in what, It's in the 2010s, right?
It was 2011.
Yeah. It's the same thing. They did that with Code Geass. They did a movie trilogy where it was they like retold the story of the show in 2 movies, and they did that 3rd movie which had the dub and everything of like, hey, this is after Lelouch and all that shit that happened, and we're gonna here's the thing, aha, he's back, and they're like, cool, we're bringing it back for more time. Apparently, there's a new Code Geass anime out now. That's like new characters, new shit, but it's like more in the same universe doing shit. But I was like, okay, cool. I don't care anymore.
It's so interesting to have a mech anime that's really not about the mechs.
It's about mostly titties and politics. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I love Evangelion. I definitely read way too much about MF Ghost when we were sitting there.
Oh, like spoiled?
Yeah, because I was like, I just searched, is Takumi in MF Ghost? And they were like, here's everything Takumi has accomplished by this point. And I was like, oh my God.
Is he just the fucking goat?
Yeah.
In MF Ghost?
Is MF Ghost a sequel to the manga?
So it's a sequel to the Legends.
Okay.
It's a So this is what I said, BJ. I was like, I'm just gonna read the plots of the Legends to see where the last Legends movie ends. So that because I was like, we've seen so much, let's just figure out where it ends so that we can know what's being covered.
Because it's like fully new shit.
No, it's all redone. But it ends. It says it ends where Takumi, like, goes off and you see the GT86, like, pull up next to Takumi, and I was like, wait, it's a sequel to the Legends anime movies, and that's how they feed it in.
Okay, because is it one of those where the Legends movies are technically more manga canon than the show, or is it? Because I know it's initially manga.
No, because the manga goes for like 50 volumes, and where we are right now, I think, is where MF Ghost would pick up, right? Or where it would end to lead into that.
We've gone way past because it's right when it's after he beats Ryusuke, or Ryosuke.
So
we've gone
the Legends
through a lot.
So Legends is 1, 2, 3, then MF Ghost. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, no, because even the extra stage, that's all manga too. It's just like side books that they wrote.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I thought the extra stuff was, I said, I was like, oh, this is like when they caught up to the manga and they like had to just write a side story, but not true.
No, it's actually just canon.
Yeah, it's all canon.
And I'm glad that they did it about Mako, because every time there's a big race and it's like, oh, everybody's coming out to see this, I'm like, where the fuck are Mako and Sayuki?
Yeah,
like they're never there. And then it's just like, okay, well, here's what they've been up to for an hour. And I was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, thank God.
Yeah.
I know. That's actually good because dude, every manga and anime I've read or watched has this thing. What are these characters doing? Because then they never get an answer because the author just went,
I also
fuck
feel
right.
like
they forget.
Like, what's the other Takahashi brother?
It's another R name.
It's not Ryusuke.
Reno.
No.
Ryan.
It's
Raiden.
It's none of those.
Raiden.
Raiden Takahashi.
Where's his eye thing?
What's up with his eye?
Don't say boy.
The graduation scene also was really fun and wholesome because like they're done with high school and it shows Takumi and Itsuki sitting in the crowd and like Itsuki's crying, and then it cuts over to Bunta, Takumi's dad, and he like starts getting a little choked up and he has to adjust his tie. It's every time they do like father son shit with Takumi and Bunta, it's always the most wholesome thing.
It's so good. Like, I mean, yeah, we told you that when he like wrecked his car, Bunta comes up in like a borrowed like
the tow
truck, and he's like, how did I know? He's like, I just knew. And he's like, aren't you mad? And he's like, no. And then like he gets the new car and he rebuilds the car and he goes, hey, I used some of like the money I've been saving for you like since you were born. And he's like, but that means that we both own it now. Oh my god, it's just
I'm a big fan of like father son moments in like movies and TV shows because like it's such a good like.
Because like the normal trope would be like Bunta's just a piece of shit like single dad.
Yeah.
And he's like a single dad.
But that's how they make you think he is in the beginning, and then it's just like, no, he's the best.
Yeah.
You can clearly tell also how much Tokyo Drift loved Initial D. Of like,
I didn't love it quite enough.
Well, enough that they were able to get away with in Fast and Furious. But like, because you got single dad, kind of aimless kid, doesn't know what he's wanting to do in life, finds racing, falls in love with the girl who's clearly dating someone way older than her.
Yeah, we get. Oh, so that's a whole thing.
You meet the dad now.
Natsuki like really dives in with Takumi about like what happened, and oh my gosh. I mean, they really do like set this up to be like, we don't know if this is ever gonna get any more episodes because. They're in the car together and he's like, please, like I just want to talk, and they're just going back and forth and he's being really like stonewalling her, and then finally he says like, why me, why did you pick me? And he's like, I can't just tell you one reason except, and then she goes, I love you. And we were like, what the fuck? And so then when the fucking rape shit happens,
she like breaks down in his car on the way home. And she's like, what? Like, I'm so fucking sorry that I'm like this. Like, you deserve better.
But that's like, I tried to get a job to like, because I was getting money from my daddy, and so I tried to get a job to like show you like that I can be different and that like I can be my best, like being my best self, and like all this kind of stuff.
And he like pulls over to the side of the road, and earlier on in the movie it's Christmas, and she brought him like a little Christmas tree, and she made a little 8/6 ornament that she like stitched together, and he's put it on the shifter, and he like picks it up and looks at it, and then the camera like cuts back outside the car that's snowing, and he's like, "Stop crying, I love you."
And he says it back, and again, all of these things that they're like setting up, and it's just wild.
Yeah. I would have been so pissed if that's where it actually ended.
It'd be horrific. It really would. I'm assuming that by stage 4, shit's pretty well wrapped up, or at least does that thing where it's like he's just gonna continue on this journey, but he really is the best that ever was.
Yeah.
Oh, he like another quick race that they show is fucking Bunta's like the guy Bunta used to race with.
His old like rival son comes and he wants to smoke from Takumi. And he like fully jumps over one side of the road to like get down ahead of Takumi. It's a wild race.
And then Takumi fucking beats him. And then we were like, we were just like hoping that like the kid would crash and die, so that Boots could be like, "I beat you and I killed your kid."
It's like, I beat you and your son's a pussy.
Yeah.
Because there's this part where Bunta like he gets home and Bunta's like, "Hey, I gotta give you a little bit of advice before this race." And the advice was about like jumping over those curves, but what I was like, Takumi, I planted C4 on the bridge. Make sure he gets ahead of you so I can finally end their family line.
He's like, Takumi, the bridge will blow up this many minutes after you start the race.
Make sure you're not on it.
Yeah, he's like, you better be in first place.
Yeah, just a good anime. We got more to watch, but
yeah, it's transcendently better than I expected it to be.
Well, it's one of the, because even me, like before y'all talked about it, I was just like, it's just probably one of those like oldie but goodies, kind of like classic shit, and that's all I would be like, yeah, it's, you know, car shit, whatever. I didn't expect, like the way you guys talk about it, it's like, no, this is some good peak shit, and I'm like, okay, I gotta sit down and watch Initial D at some point.
I also listen to the soundtrack every night when I drive home. It gets me home 10 minutes faster.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
We ran to like Spring Hill like a month ago or a couple weeks ago, and I was playing some music, and he was like, "Hey, give me your phone." And I said, like, "Oh, sure." And so he started playing Initial D, and I was like,
I could just see like that little piano bit start up, and Matt's foot just starts going on the gas a little faster.
Yeah, your foot instinctively gets way heavier when you hear Initial D music.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're like, yeah, let's do it every time I'm coming from work. That's a little dangerous, because I forget what it was. Oh no, dude, I was listening to, ironically, the Tokyo Drift theme, and I'm not gonna lie, I started like. There was a minute where I was driving, I go, I could drift. I'm like, no, I cannot.
It's so interesting watching an anime that evolves with the technology at hand. Because the movie, the CGI was better, and the animation style was not different, but it was just like...
I mean, the reflections on the Sea Lady and the OVA were crazy.
How different were the remakes, like in terms of animation quality, art style, and everything?
It's fucking incredibly better. It's crazy.
Like even like character models better.
I was so frustrated that I was like, we can't watch it anymore because I'm gonna sit down and binge this all because it's so.
So y'all watched all of the first movie?
No, we just watched like the first 10 minutes of it, and then Matt was like, "Fuck, I need to go to bed."
I was like, also, I'm not watching this. I want to finish.
If
we finish stage 4, then all we have to watch is the OVA of Extra 2, which we want to see.
Yeah.
So it's not like a barrier of like, oh, I don't. We'll want to see the fucking Itsuki Mako, and then we'll have Legends.
I will say I will happen if y'all happen to, if I'm ever here when y'all watch it, I'll watch the remake movies with you guys. Just be here to experience that. At least. Because
it might happen tonight.
I mean, maybe, yeah.
What's good though is it's all stuff we've seen, so it's not like we're getting spoiled on anything.
From the first 10 minutes of that first movie, it is all going to be fresh, just because of how they animate everything.
Yeah, I mean, like story plots.
Yeah,
like we're not like getting spoiled on anything. So, man, it just I watched. This is like the second time watching Initial D. Even though, actually not sure, I've watched First Stage like 3 times, but definitely all this up second stage was, you know, the second time watching it, and it's just been a trip because I watched it when it was like coming out to the U.S. I don't even know what year that was. It probably was like 2010s, And so, it's just been a trip watching all of this.
Yeah, I've been loving it.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys been playing anything special we can talk about?
I've been playing the No More Heroes game, so I mentioned to you last week.
Yeah.
I kind of mentioned it, and you saw like one clip of it, and that was it. Then we got distracted by Corridor Digital. We got like all in on that. Really good video with
Terran Tactical.
Terran Tactical.
And then I said, hey, I grabbed the gun because he wanted to see my gun, and then I grabbed the gun, and Carmen was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm just showing him my gun." He's like, "Why?" And I was like,
"Cause we're men."
Yeah, because we're dudes. Like, what are you talking about?
She was like she got very worried that Matt grabbed his gun.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I mean, true. Sits on the nightstand, or the only times I really take it out is when I'm cleaning it or going out to shoot it. So it was. She was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, but I've been playing No More Heroes because it's in the middle of just I need shit to play. I don't know what I want to do, but I was like, I feel like action games. They always call to me somehow, and so I was like, you know what? Because I was on my PS4, which I'll talk about my little Xbox thing I texted you guys about too, in a minute. But I was just on the PS4, and one of the two of the PS Plus games that they just threw on the catalog was Travis Strikes Again and No More Heroes 3. So I was like, oh shit. I was like, fuck it. You know what? I played No More Heroes 3 back when it launched on the Switch. I remember nothing of it. And I don't know why. That's a part of my brain that just was like, take that out, put something else in there. Fuck it. But now that I've like thought about it a little more, I'm like, okay, I remember certain things like that Asian dude and his alien girlfriend. You've got obviously Fu's final boss fight, and the different transformations are crazy. Fucking Black Hole is the first boss, which... Am I crazy in thinking that boss was like a little harder than it should have been as a first boss fight? Or
I agree.
Okay, I'm glad that I'm not the only one, because I was like, yo, what the fuck happened? I was like, well, okay, whatever. But so I started playing it, and then I was like, oh, this game's like really good. But I'm like, you know what? No, I want to go back. I want to play No More Heroes 1 again. I want to go through 2, because I remember loving 2. Really fuck with 2, at least the first time.
2's my favorite still.
I went back and played them, and I would actually say new age me now, because I went through all of them. Like, I tried to do every side thing, collect every collectible, do everything I could. I think 1's better than 2. Like, gameplay wise, not so much. I think the combat's better in 2, but in terms of the story, characters, and like the general game, there was something so like nice. Like, as annoying as it was at first, there was something kind of nice about. All right, well, I just got done with a fucking boss fight that almost ate my lunch in. I'll go just kind of desaturate myself with some nice like lawn mowing, scorpion grabbing, coconut, whatever. Like, I was just like, this is fun. It had a very good feel. That I'm not gonna lie, I kind of missed the open world in 2. Like, everything being a menu. Like,
after playing 1, I didn't miss the open world at all.
I enjoyed it more this time around, I guess, but maybe that's just me. But
I think 3 does the open world way better than 1 does, just because it's not as empty.
Yeah,
you can get around faster.
Yeah, with the newer bike. Well, I think the thing with 2 though is I wish it was, because I think that's my biggest problem is I feel like you could have fixed the open world more in 2, because my completion time for No More Heroes 2 was 9 hours.
Yeah.
Whereas No More Heroes 1 was like 15 or 20, and I was like, damn, because after a while there was a point where I'm like, why am I doing the side content? I'll just keep doing ranking fights, because like I feel like I got powerful enough doing the gym mini game and whatever else that I'm like, I can just beat these. And I was like, I fought the which still the most annoying boss fight in 2 is Moonlight, the bitch with the gun, the discount Ruby character, because you have to get close to her, and all those shots she just keeps sniping. You're like, God, I fucking hate her.
Yeah,
banger soundtrack though. But by that point I was basically murking bosses like left and right, because I was too powerful. Plus, when you get the dual katanas, it's over. Like, yeah, you're gonna ransack it. But yeah, No More Heroes 1 kind of solid in terms of its like writing and kind of the things. It's obviously a fucking gamey ass video game where it's like, this is all weird, but like they kind of did it really well. And then I forgot that No More Heroes 1 was like, yeah, the UAA is not a real thing. Sylvie's a scammer. And then I'm like, oh yeah. Then you go to 2 and I'm like, wait, what the fuck do you mean it's a thing? And then I was reading somewhere that apparently it was a scam in game 1, but Pizza Bat homie funded it this time so he could fight Travis.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, that makes Sylvia a little more like, she's getting her own medicine because now she has to work for him. But then also the whole thing with the Love Hotel bit or the voyeur shows where she's like been reduced to. I'm like, this is actually kind of really good. But I'm now at Travis Strikes Again. So No More Heroes 1 and 2, really good action games on the Wii. Shockingly, honestly, I'm gonna say a little more disturbing than Manhunt, except that when you think about it, Manhunt's a bit more serious, whereas No More Heroes is so comical, it's not gory anymore. But when you
I don't know, you're not holding the like nunchuck and actually doing.
No, but you are slicing heads off with the Wii remote every time to do things.
I was doing that in Twilight Princess.
You weren't slicing heads off. Okay. You weren't cutting people in twain.
Twain.
As they split open and blood sprays out. Like, the actual acts of No More Heroes, I think, are gorier because of how much shit is going on, but it's so outlandish that it's like... Because the game doesn't care. They're like, fuck it. But, like, one of the characters puts a grenade in her mouth and suicides because... Yeah, and you're like, oh, fuck. Which, Holly Summers is one of the best, like, story-wise boss fights in that game.
Yeah.
Bad Girl, though, is annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
God, that took me forever.
But she got what was coming to her.
Yeah, well, and she came back.
Yeah,
so,
but they fixed her in 3.
Why did you want to get rid of your Xbox?
So, just Xbox as a company, and I think it's the problem is I think this is coming to, the Activision deal is coming to bite them in the ass. Because it's one thing when you spend $7 billion for another game studio that can probably make that back in like maybe a couple years. It's another when you spend $70 billion, where that's now full corporate money, that now it's not just like, oh yeah, you guys keep acting the way you are. Now it's Microsoft coming and saying, hey yo, where's the return on investment?
Craziest thing is nothing's coming out. Nothing at all.
I mean, at least exclusive wise, yeah. I mean, they've got Call of Duty, which technically is theirs, but like that was going to come out regardless.
I don't think we're going to get another Halo on this console.
Fuck no, absolutely not. But like, just in general, and then you hear
we are getting a Gears though.
The thing is though, I'm saying this all, but I'm like, I also have a Steam Deck. I can get them there.
Be on there.
That's true.
The only reason that I've thought about like that,
Luke, fuck it, sell your Xbox, build a PC, man. I'll help you.
The only reason that I'm
not gonna fight you on that one.
Well, the only reason that I haven't sold it yet, because I was fully like, I'll do it, but I'm like, I've got so many 360 games physically. Like, I don't give a fuck about the Xbox One library because I can get most of those on the PS5.
It is great backwards compatibility.
Yeah. What if I told you could download ROMs of all those games you own physically and play them on your new PC with upscaling?
Yeah, but then I'd have to sit and use a PC.
So
that's not true.
Plug a controller into that bitch.
You could do it way better than this. You could. Have you seen Big Steam?
Yeah, it's basically
what?
Steam Big Mode. It's just Steam Deck UI.
Oh yeah, cool. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. My plan was to do a BJ with the PS5. Just go get a Xbox One, like for cheap, and just use that as the backwards compatibility machine. Because like it's gotten to the point where I'm like, even like the new games coming out, like from Xbox, like South of Midnight. Like I think the game looks cool, but I'm like, not $70 day one. I'm gonna buy it, or even Game Pass wise cool. I'm like, I don't. Like Fable's the only game.
We haven't
Fable
even talked about all the. I don't think we've talked on the podcast or touched on all the changes to Game Pass.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. Is like, realistically, I haven't used Game Pass. Like, I let it end. I haven't re-upped my Game Pass in 2 months because I haven't used it.
I need to change it. I have it on Ultimate so I can get all my stuff on thing. But here's the other thing: is I don't remember the last time I played a Game Pass game on my computer.
That's kind of the problem. Is like I haven't been using it, so I'm like, I don't see the point.
Yeah.
Most of the games I either will buy anyway.
Yeah, it's probably better like, just to pay month to month for me.
And so I've just kind of turned into like everything the Xbox is offering, I don't give a shit about. Like Fable's the only game that I'm like, that one I might want to play on a more powerful piece of hardware and like play it. But even then, like I can play it on Steam Deck because Xbox has been very adamant that like we're gonna make sure our shit works on Steam Deck. And so like I don't really give that much of a shit about if it runs at 30 frames or 60 frames.
You know,
so like
I
don't care.
Like one of these nights where I'm like deciding to go to bed a little bit earlier, or at least go to bed, meaning like get into the bed,
yeah.
Earlier than usual. It would be like get the little Razer Kishi, and then just try to Steam, because that was one of like the things that I love about the Steam Deck is like there's so many games that I know are like vibe games for me, which vibe being sitting in bed or sitting with my feet up, and like Dave the Diver is definitely because I played the shit out on my PC. And it's like
that'd be a really good game to like sit down with like rest your feet up, be in bed, just kind of
yes. And I was like, I'm sure there's tons of games like that on Xbox that I would be like have fun doing. But,
there's plenty. I mean, there's plenty on.
And we have the internet to handle it with like no latency.
You could stream it, yeah.
And so I just haven't, but I need to like just check what's on. What is it called?
The cloud streaming stuff,
streaming, and just see what I can do.
But that's been my biggest thing is like that, especially Xbox is clearly going in that direction, and I do not have the internet to function there. Mm-hmm. Like I'm always going to be a physical gamer first, then I am a digital person.
I mean, here's the thing,
and even
maybe
then,
in a distant future, where like we all have those glasses that can project screens that look like they're 65-inch screens.
Yeah, Iron Man technology.
Yeah, when we get that, and so then when I'm on my lunch break in my car and I can boot up the most
GTA 7 because it's going to take 3 decades for that game to come out.
Yeah, when I can do that, I'm sure Microsoft will be back on top. Who knows? And I would like.
That's the thing is, I feel like they're jumping.
That's where cloud streaming kind of stops for me. Like I do not mind even having a physical disc. I never minded that.
The thing is, and I've always been a physical gamer regardless. Like even before, like I will 9 times out of 10 be like, I won't get a game because it doesn't have a physical release, just because it's like I'd rather have the disc. I'll get it later on sale, but it will stop me from buying a game because I'm like, no, I'd rather have.
Have you ever bought the fake, like the Steelbook? Like, you know how they have the metal cases, but not the game?
Sadly, because some games just do that. Like God of War's Collector's Edition for Ragnarok was, here's a digital code, and I'm like, go fuck yourself, give me the disc. I fucking hate you.
That's true.
But
yeah, big empty Steelbook.
Yeah, they did that with Starfield.
Yeah, well, their collection edition had the
watch. Oh my gosh, I wanted the watch so bad.
I bought the watch by itself.
You did?
I said, fuck it, I don't care about anything. I got it for like, not cheap, but like, it was like way less than the collection edition was. And I was like, fuck yeah.
You probably got it for like
glad.
The retail
I'm
of the
really
watch
glad.
I think I got it for the retail of the watch because I didn't
glad
get the
I picked up
Steelbook.
the controller.
The controller's like, the price is crazy for that shit.
Really?
Yeah.
It's still in box. I haven't even. I've opened it up to look at it.
I think online, Amazon alone was like, the last I checked was like $170 just to get it.
I don't even want to know what the Sea of Thieves ones cost now.
My
Forza
favorite
one,
I was gonna say the Forza one. They did. It was like all clear
with like the graffiti paint and shit. Yeah, and it had the rubber grips.
But the problem was,
I worked at GameStop when that came out. I was so mad I didn't pick it up.
It wasn't a Series X one, so it didn't have like the share button and the nice like stippling on the backside.
Did it not? I thought the clear one did. I thought it had the rubber grips in the back.
Because they started that on the Xbox One era.
And it didn't have the share button, so it was the old style controller.
See, I don't give a fuck about that.
I do.
I'm not trying to share a goddamn thing.
Same. None of that matters to me. I'm cool with not having that shit. So, but I understand though. Yeah, I was working at GameStop when that came out, so I just didn't buy it just because I was like, no.
I mean, to be fair, the controller I use the most, other than my Elite, is my Gundam controller.
Which is a nice controller. It's actually really nice.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's
a great color. It honestly, like the little like aesthetically, my desk.
Yeah, no,
the
honestly.
white PC, and then I have the
white little charging stander that you put the
then I have
the
like
incredible mat from Dubby.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the cherry blossom from Dubby.
It's a really solid mat.
The Berserk Shadow Box, which is a great. The
Berserk Shadow Box is one of the best things on that fucking desk.
So good. Yeah. A great little setup there.
But yeah, I've just been thinking about it because I'm like less and less I'm using my Xbox, and more it's like I'm either playing on my Steam Deck, Switch, or PS5. And like when it comes to like physical games, like Sony has been very adamant that like we're not going to stop, because apparently they're just gonna keep doing physical cartridges, because Nintendo's still doing physical games because they're never gonna fucking stop doing that either. So like in PlayStation, I think that's gonna be their thing, because I think Microsoft is just jumping too soon into like streaming and that stuff, because like I'm sure
it'll probably pay off later. It'll probably pay off later. Well, they will be well in advance of that.
But the thing is, Sony I think is doing a better job, where they're also dipping into streaming and things like that, but it's like lesser. It's there for those who can deal with it, but it's never like the focal point.
I'm also sure that Microsoft might be like put together like computers that are like the Xbox computer.
The thing is, if they do, that's the thing. If they do
like make it a dual system where I can play Steam games. But
yeah, just a dual boot.
A dual, yes. Yeah. Like if they able to do that, where you have like 2 buttons on the front, one that launches your PC, the other that launches in the Xbox UI.
Or even if they don't look like similar to the Steam Deck, where it's like you can launch desktop or not, where it's like, yeah, like have an Xbox like app that you can, when you launch the thing, it's the same as Steam Deck. That's your main app, and you go, hey, launch to the desktop mode.
The only problem with that, I mean, I guess it's not a problem because all of the Xbox stuff
runs on Steam.
Well, no, I was gonna say it's like the problem is like the big thing with like modern like building computers is like you want to be able to pick your like the parts. And you want to be able to like, oh, do I want an Intel or do I want an AMD chip?
That's also the draw of console is not having to choose and making it easier for developers.
And the benefit of console is they eliminate the fucking crammed UI and all the other things that are running in the background. So I have I mean, technically, that console runs at 120 frames per second at 4K, which is again, mine can do a little bit. Mine can do better, but like.
The new Xboxes are
but it's also was half the price of mine.
Well, that's the thing. Like, consoles are sold at a loss. Building a PC is not. Like, they're getting their profit out of you buying their parts for whoever you're buying from. Whereas $500 for a console, Microsoft knows for a fact they're not making money off that console. They're gonna make money off you spinning shit in their store and all the microtransactions, all the other shit. Like, they're making money off their controllers and their headsets and their other shit like that.
But not nearly as much as the software. The thing about Xbox is it's the easiest console to homebrew in the world because you just have to go into the settings, put it in developer mode, and you can do whatever you want to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wolfden made one about this 1S, right? When that was where he was like, yeah, just fucking buy this. Easy shit. And you've got a fucking homebrew menace.
Back when the Xbox original came out,
I mean, it was easy to, not easy to mod, but I feel like, yeah, the original Xboxes, you can mod.
So there's a couple different ways, but all of them really involved a computer. But the easiest way is you had to have a certain game, and there was like 2 games essentially that you could have in the US, or maybe 3, but I can know of 2 games that you'd have, and for some reason, like how it searched file directories would like go deep enough into file directories that you could put like a file on the hard drive
for it to load.
And then it would be like labeled in the same encryption as a save file for a game, and then you just go open the game and you just hit open save file, and then the Xbox go, and then you'd be like, oh yeah, and then you start the homebrew process. The other thing is you'd have to completely flash a hard drive and then do all of that, which is what I had to do. But yeah, like the original Xbox was really fun to like, especially back in like Windows XP era.
The 3DS used to be like that. Like you had to have like a copy of Zelda with like the power saves turned on, and before a certain date, if you loaded it up, you could do certain things to it. But now you can just do whatever the fuck you want to a 3DS.
Yeah.
The Xbox has always been, because that's the thing with the Xbox. They've always, that's why I've liked them, is they've always been like arguably the more technical console. Because they're made by fucking computer people, but like, they really like the 360. It's very clearly the 360 was like a lucky shot for them, because even halfway through they fucked themselves with the Kinect and like all the other things they were doing, and then the Xbox One happened, and they've never been able to recover from that Xbox One generation. It's been the fucking shadow over them since, because they fucked up that generation. Because the PS4 was the console. Like, if you were going to get a console, it's like, fucking get a PS4. What does Xbox have? Forza?
That's because the PS4 just... The only thing it did right was not actively try to fuck you in the ass.
Well, it's like...
And then the PS5 comes out, and it's like, no, we're going to stick a pinky in there at least. So next generation, I think what'll happen is PS5 is we're going full fist.
Yeah.
And Xbox is like, okay, we're backing off. We're just doing the basic shit, and then they'll win, and then it'll happen all over again, because that's what the console market is now.
The problem is it's a cycle of Xbox is gonna win, get too big for their britches, and then fuck up again. Sony's gonna win again, and Nintendo. But the thing is, Nintendo has said, "Fuck it, we're doing our own thing." Because after the Wii U,
y'all like Luigi. We got Luigi Mansion.
Well, no. See, that was
it's
one of the problems.
It's always gonna be $60.
Yeah.
No,
even though it was $40 on the 3DS, fuck you.
Yeah, that was now we have the generation of 70.
Well, that was their other problem. Remember the year of Luigi that was a financial ruin for them?
The worst year they ever had.
Yeah,
but at least
they're never going to ask you if you like Luigi ever again. They're going to be like, no.
We're just going to assume you like Luigi and pepper him out here and there.
Yeah. But this time they're like, hey, y'all like Princess Peach?
Oh, I fucking love Princess Peach. I wish they would do a HD 2D Super Princess Peach.
You know what else we like?
We
Our
love
sponsor
Dubby.
If you want some jitterless energy, in the mornings when you're like, fuck, I gotta go to work. At least you'll have Dovey to comfort you.
Dovey will help you immensely.
And you'll also help us and yourself if you use code Take It Sleazy, all one word, at checkout. Save 10% on your order.
If you don't drink Dubby, fuck you.
Yeah! And as always...
No, I got more shit to talk about.
Yeah, we're not done.
Fuck me.
Elden Ring
Take it sleazy.
progress.
God, he gets up and turns it off immediately.
He just walks out.
Yeah. I edited it and just cut this whole part out just to be like, fuck, when I say it, it's it. I have the final word.
I have the power.
Elden Ring progress update.
Oh, that's right.
I got past Lindell, and I was gonna go like do the good grinding spot for a little bit, but I didn't realize that Easy Anti-Cheat on the Steam Deck prevents you from doing online play with Elden Ring, so you can't do Var's quest line, so you can't get there early, so you have to wait until after Lindell to find the portal to get down there. So now I'm at the spot where I can do that, and I still I need to beat Mog so I can do Shadow of the Erd Tree shit.
Are you gonna go right to Erd Tree, or are you gonna wait?
I need to look up if you can beat the game and then do it, which I don't think is possible. But
is Dark Souls 3 the only one that you could do that with, or no?
I think so.
Because I'm pretty sure you could beat the Ashen. What is it? Yeah.
Yeah, the Ashen one.
Ashen. Yeah, and then
To my
go
knowledge,
to
it
the
doesn't.
Ring City, right?
It doesn't. It doesn't affect the end game stuff.
Well, I don't want to say because
I think I have to do
I, which is weird that I know.
Well, yeah. I don't want to.
It's also only because of like Adam and Maul in Discord that are just always talking about it and explaining stuff to me, because I'm always like, what do you mean by that?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
What can you explain that? And then they go into full on like
Yeah.
almost your fucking Warhammer lore podcast. Like, okay, so basically,
Yeah.
Queen Mark.
There's a channel that I follow that does that just for Souls games.
Is that a Vati Vidya? Because I know that's the big one.
I think so. He's got that like British voice and he talks real.
I think so, because that's the one. That's how I know what the fuck happened in Bloodborne. Yeah, I think Vati Vidya was their videos.
But yeah, I'm up in the mountains now. Fire Giant is up next, but I think I'm gonna take a detour to try to do Mog, and like all the Erd Tree shit.
What's your build currently?
Strength.
Nice.
Like I've got 50 strength and then like
Guts.
30 HP. I always go back to the Radon Greatswords just because the ability on it is too good. I've got that. I started wearing the Crucible Knight armor, which is pretty dope. But I usually wear the royal remains of that guy that just randomly attacks you in the round table hold after some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm rocking with right now.
Because when I started, which I need to jump back into, I was gonna do a full dex like bleed build, because I never did it the first time. I was doing like you did. I was like, I'm gonna be like paladin, like full strength, maybe a little bit of magic here and there if I could figure it out, which I never did. So I was just pretty much a knight. But I was like, I want to try. So I started samurai, and I was like, I'm gonna try to go full dex, get bleeding and everything. And samurai, starting as a samurai, it is fucking broken already. Like it is absolutely easy mode to start with.
Right now, Adam and Maul are doing like the Elden Ring multiplayer, and they are doing naked playthroughs.
Nice.
And they're just all the time like, "Fuck, I hate this game."
I'd rather have fun.
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of that. Very, very much still loving it. Do you know where to find the wedding ring for Ranny? Because that's the only thing stopping me from going.
Isn't it in a quest with Wolf Dude or no?
I mean,
Wolfhead? I'm pretty sure that's what
I
it
would
is.
think so, but I saved him from the Ever Jail, and then he was like, all right, I'm going to go find Ranny. And then now I don't know where to find him.
Isn't he in, I forget the name of the place, but
maybe he just went back to the Mistwood Ruins or something. I'll look it up.
I'm pretty sure he's the one who gives it to you, or it's in through his quest lines. I'm pretty sure. Because it's been forever since I beat the game, and I was like, cool. I didn't think about Elden Ring since.
Yeah.
I got the Randy ending, and I went, all right, I'm good. I'm done.
This is probably a controversial take, but I think Elden Ring takes Breath of the Wild and does it better.
Yeah.
Because you have that sense of discovery and everything, but there's way more shit to do.
Way more shit to do, way more shit to discover than just, you might get a heart piece here.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, having like side bosses other than the generic boss, like the generic like Lionel's is like with like, you know, bosses with different move sets and like weapons is definitely more fun.
Like the fact that you can equally get bodied by a side boss and a main boss is like pretty good incentive to be like, no, I'm gonna fucking try. Like you're always around every corner like, I could die, this could be it, but I'm gonna keep going. Like, what was I think you were at my house when I was playing one time.
Yeah,
it was in that cave thing, right?
You were going up. I remember specifically where you were because it was such a fun time. But you were going up against was it Renala, Queen of the Moon or whatever?
Well, there was that
at the academy.
Because so there was that part, and you got me that armor set. This is where we found it. But it was I think I might have said, fuck it, I'm gonna try to find something else. And I feel like you were there, and I was in a cave with this rock monster.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Was it the beast with like the two pincers? It looks like a big bull.
Yeah. And so I was trying to fight that, and like pretty much been like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. I can't. And I think you even said like, just leave. And I was like, no.
Yeah, that's the worst part about Elden Ring is it's constantly telling you go do something else, and then your own stubbornness.
In Elden Ring, let's say I go and defeat like a named boss, like a storyline boss, and then I like defeat him.
Yeah.
And then like I walk outside, and then for some reason like I die.
Do
I lose all
the boss is defeated, but you'll lose the souls you've collected.
You lose the souls, but you can travel back to where you died and pick them back up.
But what if you pick them up and then die again? Isn't there like a
if you pick them up and then die them? If you pick them up and die again, then they're still there. You can go back and pick them up again.
If you die before
you pick
don't pick them up, you lose them. So
but what about like items?
Items you keep permanently.
Okay.
They're just in your inventory. It's your experience points you'll lose.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little roguelike in that sense almost, but just for experience.
Yeah, because one of the worst feelings is if you're trying to like, I'm really trying to level up and you're saving like souls or whatever, and you die and you're like, fuck, I get it back, and then you get like I'm gonna be honest, it's usually my fault because I wasn't paying attention, I wasn't doing this, and I die again, and I'm like, fuck. That's usually when I end a session of playing. I'm like, I put the controller and I'm like, I'm done. Nope.
So the next time you start up, it's a fresh reset.
Yeah. See, in your mind, you can be like, no, start new. But at that moment, it's like, fuck it. Boot up fucking Amazon or Netflix. I'm like, I just lean back. I'm like, I don't want to fucking, nope, no, I'm done. I'm good.
I also, I got to Volcano Manor last night, and it just made me think about Liza P the whole time. Because it just feels so much like the Hotel Krat.
That was another thing that I was starting to play again, and this time I decided to go with the rapier for all deck stuff. Dude, I bodied the fucking first boss. It was like shockingly. I was like, "This is
fresh playthrough, or are you doing New Game
fresh
Plus?"
Playthrough.
Okay, make sure you do New Game Plus so you can see all the puppet dialogue.
Well, because I don't think I beat. Did I beat Liza B? I don't know if I did or not. I'm playing on PS5, which is another reason why I'm on the PS5 again. And I was like, oh, but I was just like, dude, I was like, fuck it. I picked like the regular standard sword, and then I had a great sword as like the second weapon, just because I was like, oh, like dichotomy. And I was like, fuck it. I'm just going the full dex build on this game too. And brother, I was wrecking bitches, because the heavy attack for the rapier is you do 2 attacks and dodge back on your own without like extra stamina getting wasted. And I was like,
it just does your like MP bar or whatever.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's over. And I beat the little carnival master in 2 shots or 2 tries. And I was like, yo, I'm never not doing a dex build in any of these games ever again.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
They've got it nailed now.
Yeah, no, it's so good. Although Dark Souls 1 is, if you're not doing strength, you're probably fucked regardless.
Yeah,
because I feel like Dark Souls 1 is
unfair. 1 is the most, well, besides Demon Souls, is the most unbalanced.
I don't know if the remake was balanced. I need to really check that, because I liked what I played of.
Heavy like Souls heads say that it's like basically they just updated graphics.
I know people were mad about the soundtrack being revamped, because that was the biggest problem. But
yeah, Liza P, very excited for the DLC to come out. They haven't said anything since like the developer letter, like a month after it came out, but gotta be getting close.
They did say that DLC.
Yeah, the guy was like, yeah, we're working on DLC and a follow up. So I guess they're planning on doing like, I don't know what the DLC is going to be versus the sequel, because I know they're trying to do like Wizard of Oz, and I don't know which one is going to be which.
It's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, because Pinocchio, from what I gather, Pinocchio is supposed to be the Tin Man in that story.
Okay, so bear with me. You're Pinocchio in Lies of P, right?
I mean, that's what I call him. They never call him Pinocchio.
But you are.
That's not my belt.
You sure?
I don't think it's mine either.
I'm positive. I don't have a buckle like that.
Sorry, it just.
No, you're good. Here. So, but you are Geppetto's puppet.
Geppetto's puppet.
I just remember that one time you were like, couldn't find your belt for like 2 months.
Yeah, and that was before I was living here. So every time I was here, I was just flipping over rocks trying to find my belt. But yeah, Elden Ring good. I've also been playing a lot of Mega Man Battle Network.
Dude, I've been meaning to pick that collection up.
I don't have the collection. I've just been playing it on
really?
my Ambernick.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and it's fucking fire.
Are you just doing one right now?
I'm just doing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's any continuing story, so that's always my go-to.
I don't know which one I had, but I had one of them on the Game Boy back in the day. And then I remember watching the Mega Man anime, because I think they made an anime relative to Battle Network at some point. Because I remember them talking about like net navies and all this other shit, and I'm just like, and one of the characters' name was like Chod.
Yeah.
And I was like, I fucking hate anime. This is when I was a kid, but like I remember watching that, playing the game, and being like, dude, Mega Man's awesome. And then trying to play Mega Man like original, I'm like, this game sucks. And just going back to Battle Network.
If you're looking to get into Mega Man, just start with Mega Man X, and then play Mega Man 0, and then stop.
Maybe 11 if you really want to.
Yeah, like 11 is good enough.
Don't play Mighty Number 9.
Yeah. Play, alternatively, play Azure Striker Gunvolt. Sorry, I said that so autistically. And Mighty Striker Gunvolt, which is a crossover between the two.
The Gunvolts seem to be... I want to play those. They look really fun.
They're great. They're very heavily inspired by Zero.
Good, because Zero is really good. What was the other... Oh, the fucking DS ones. What Mega Man was those?
Star Force?
Yeah. I didn't play those, but there were ones I always wanted because I watched the anime of that. And, like, really fucking with that. I
remember
why.
you telling me about that.
Yeah, I don't know why I really fucked with that anime, but I was like, hell yeah, dude, this is cool. Because it was basically just, like, superhero, magical girl shit, but for Mega Man characters.
Hey, have you ever played Advance Wars?
I'll kill you. I'll kill you with a gun.
Advanced Warfare. But yeah,
Advanced Warfare.
Dude, Mega Man's so weird, and I kind of hate that like Capcom just does nothing with it.
Yeah, they just on a whim one day they were like, kill all of it.
Except they're coming back with good stuff.
Well,
now.
they're putting all the collections out, which is good.
The new Crazy Taxi and all that kind of stuff.
That's Sega, not Capcom. Yeah,
Sega.
I mean, they're
remember when Sega's logo used to say Sega?
They used to yell at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just that lady's eye.
Speaking of that, that's another thing I'm going to play on my Steam Deck is the Sonic and Shadow Generations, because like,
I'm very excited for that.
That's one another reason why I don't really give a fuck about my Xbox. I'm just like yeah, this is coming on PS5, Switch, or whatever, but like honestly, I'll just play it on Steam Deck. Because then I get portable. It's probably gonna be better graphics. Than
you could
Switch
probably
version.
mod in the PlayStation exclusive movie,
which I'm just gonna watch that shit when it comes
on YouTube.
Be on
YouTube day one.
Well, did you see the trailer or the bit they put out?
I saw the thumbnail for it, but I haven't watched it.
Okay, do you know who the thing he's fighting is? You know the robot from Battle?
Oh, Emerald?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
We'll watch the trailer bit.
I also have to say, just because you brought up Emerald, and I didn't expect him to ever come back.
He was really good
I've been
in the
reading
comics.
Tales Gets Trolled, and it is a fucking masterpiece.
What is that?
It's a Sonic fan comic from like DeviantArt, and it's leagues better than Sonichu.
What?
It's like competently written, like shonen.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And what are you reading it on?
They have a compiled website now where you can just go on and read all of it.
I thought you were talking about I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna start to read the comics again, or like the IDW run, and I'm like, oh hell yeah,
dude! Did I tell you
Emerald
that
shows up there too?
Damn.
We got DoorDash the other day, and I was wearing a Berserk shirt, and the
guy was like, "Hey, nice shirt," and then you were like, "Oh, what's your favorite chapter?" And then he was like, "Oh, I was just saying you had a nice shirt. I don't really know anything about that."
It was very similar to that. It's very similar to that. I said like, "Oh," he's like, "Dude, dope shirt," and I was like, "Dude, yeah, man," and he's like, "Yeah, like my girlfriend, she loves Berserk," and I was like, "I mean, it's good, yeah, man. Like, have you like caught up?" And
sounds like she deserves better.
Yeah, and he says, "Have you caught up?" And he goes, "No, I haven't read it," and I was almost gonna be like, "Fuck you." Then the only thing let me guess, you've seen the fucking anime, And he was like, yeah, I watched the anime. The anime is really good though, and I just wanted to be like,
did you specify which one?
No, I just.
I'm
said,
assuming.
I said read the fucking. I said read the manga.
I'm gonna give him a little credit and say it was 97.
Well, it might have been the golden.
The Golden Age movies.
Well, because they put them out as like a show now.
Well, they did the movies, and then I think the show picks up like the last half of Golden Age or something.
Because it was called like the Golden Age Memorial Edition. It was like on Crunchyroll for like a while. Where they were going like, yeah, this is currently coming out. And I was like, oh, okay.
Because the DVD just came out.
Okay. Yeah, because they were putting them on Crunchyroll as like episode length stuff instead of movies. So he might have saw that because I feel like that's the most easy to get into one right now. Which, to be fair, again,
it's not the easiest to get into when you can go to readberserk.com.
You just have to be okay with like seeing titty ads all the time.
Yeah, and if you're into watching Initial D, you're already fine with that, I guess. So
that's dude. I need Berserk to be on like one of these like comic apps. Because like DC Comics app, the Shonen Jump, I'm so used to just flipping, like scrolling past, or DC Comics one, dude. More things to do.
I honestly
you go by panel by panel, dude.
That's really great. I wish Shonen Jump did that.
It's the best thing ever.
What does Millie ever told us what she reads it on? Because if she reads it on her phone, I'll be livid.
I read it on my phone.
Really?
That's where I read it for a while. Yeah, same.
I once reading it on the iPad, I could not go back. Being able to see all of the stuff.
I mean, I'm with you until I realize I'm like, I can't bring my iPad out of work, so when we're slow, I'm just like.
That was my thing. Working at Bed Bath & Beyond, wanting to read it, I would just stand in the back all day. I definitely had shit to do, but I would just stand there like. That's how I read through all of Tokyo Ghoul in 2 days. I just wasted 2 days of work.
Tokyo Ghoul's so good though. Like the manga's so. That is one I think you need to read, which I actually have.
It's okay.
Physical
I watched it.
No, you know.
Watching it.
I'm messing.
I'll kill you.
I'll
kill you again.
Me and BJ were about to rip you a new one.
I know.
Oh my god! I've never felt closer to him in this moment where we both were like, "We're gonna kill Matt. We're gonna bury him in that backyard together." No, they're not official. They're definitely like third party, like fake knockoff versions, but it's the same scans. I could just let you honestly have them because I've been trying to get rid of them. But it's all of Tokyo Ghoul and RE
in books.
Yeah,
that are fake scans.
Well, they're the real pages, but clearly not.
It's like some Korean company printed them.
Yeah, like not legally. Like they're knockoffs, but like it's the same story, same everything. But I could just let you borrow those.
I mean, it's Tokyo Ghoul, just like.
But like
filmed in a theater.
Kinda, yeah.
Basically.
But not it's not that terrible quality either. Like it's actually like
it's not somebody taking pictures of the pages with their iPhone.
Okay.
Like
someone went online and to read TokyoGhoul.com and just said save photo to all of them and then printed them themselves and then sold them.
That's one of the things.
What?
Just I'm assuming in Thailand or Korea or somewhere where
is it labeled Tokyo Ghoul?
Yeah, it's the cover arts have shitty quality.
I bet it was Singapore. A lot of that stuff comes from like the I Am Setsuna physical edition. The only way you could get the English dub on the cart was to buy it from Singapore.
Because I think you might be right because I bought it from Amazon instead of buying the box set like I should have. It was like $60 cheaper to buy like, oh, here's the whole set here. And when I bought them, there's no Shonen Jump logo. It's just this weird like minimalist pink flower on the side. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then the cover art looks terribly like pixelated and whatever, like, oh fuck. But then you open it, I'm like, oh no, it's good, but like, oh, it's not. Yeah. Okay. But I could just bring those over and you could read it.
I mean, I still need to catch up in Chainsaw Man on the volumes you brought. So
Chainsaw Man is fucking wild right now.
Did you read them?
I haven't read the one from today.
Homie, I'll say this, Yoshida's back.
Oh shit.
Yeah, which it makes me go, what? Again, this chapter was, what the fuck is happening?
We were talking about Chainsaw Man last night and Matt was like, does Power ever come back?
No.
And I was like, no, but the Eternity Devil does.
I said, that's fucked.
What? Oh, fuck. You read the most recent chapter. Maybe you can pin this one, but there's another devil that shows up. Then I'm like, is that what I think it is? It's not Power or Aki. Don't get happy. There's no happiness in Chainsaw Man. But there's like this most recent chapter. I'm like, what
Zombie
the
devil?
fuck is happening?
Sharkman?
No, it looked like, again, it looked like the Death Devil.
Oh, shit.
Again, it could be me misremembering, but it was very bony and skeletal, and it was sitting on a throne this time, and then like that's where Yoshida came in, and I'm like, And by the end of the chapter, I'm like, does this motherfucker have a contract with the Death Devil? What the fuck happened? Like, I hadn't... Again, it ended and goes, all right, wait 7 days. I'm like, give me the fucking thing now. I need to know what the fuck is happening.
I also need more Kobeni. Kobeni hasn't shown up in like 100 chapters.
Yeah.
Didn't she not shown up since the end of part 1? Yeah.
Yeah, but she was left alive.
Well, her brother was there, or the little kid in school who now works for the chainsaw hunting
is she
devil.
Still working at
No,
McDonald's.
McDonald's got blown up while they did their DDR machine.
Yeah, he destroyed the whole McDonald's, and then he made her do DDR until he was like, keep dancing.
Did I show you that meme, which was Kobeni dancing, and then it was Dobby dancing too?
No.
It was him where he's doing like that pose, but then he's like in the manga where he's like just flipping out, and it was someone like animated it with Kobeni dancing. They were both doing DDR versus
This
each
might
other.
go long, but My Hero ended.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming he doesn't give a fuck about spoilers too heavily.
I've already asked him.
Okay, cool.
He's already told me.
He made a huge mistake leaving that shit ambiguous.
Yeah.
Because now Deku just looks like a fucking loser.
He really does.
So okay, for the people at home, do you want to explain? Because so Deku and Uraraka had a conversation before the war arc.
Yeah, where they were like, we like each other, but shit's going down right now. Like, we need to focus on that. And I don't want to go into this with any more baggage, so let's just put a pin in this. And then
they had another conversation.
The second to last chapter, Deku like chases after her because she's crying about the stuff that happens with Toga, and he like starts having a conversation with her, and then the rest of the class shows up and they cut it short. And then the final chapter happens where it's like 8 years later, and Deku, like, the Ember seems to be fully gone for him by this point.
Until All Might shows back up.
Yeah, but the Ember of
Uraraka,
the quirk.
Oh yeah, gone. So he's quirkless again.
Okay.
Yeah,
he used it all up.
Yeah, you told me that.
One for All is gone. So is All for One. Like, it's over. That whole arc, that everything that power and everything about it is gone, and it died in Deku. And so he's now just a normal quirkless.
Yeah, I know that, but you were saying this the Ember until All Might shows up.
Yeah. So what happens is,
sorry, I don't know if you knew that either, but okay,
did not.
It's my fault.
I mean, this doesn't really tell you anything about the last battle or anything, but
yeah, this is after, and it's just like, hey,
did All Might's Ember reignite?
No.
Oh,
that doesn't happen.
Oh.
Deku becomes a teacher at UA. And he's teaching like Koda and like all these other kids.
Which I'm gonna be honest, is kind of what I figured would be a really good ending for him. Is like, even if he's not the pro hero number one, I'm the saving everybody. Just
if
him
he had
being
stayed quirkless, I think he would have ended up there anyway.
Yeah.
So that does make sense. But the problem is that they do a bunch of pages where he's just like, yeah, everyone's like rising the ranks, and
you told me that
they don't have time for like meeting up anymore. And he's like, yeah, like I try to schedule stuff, but they're all too busy. And it's like, I haven't seen most of them in like months and months. And that part is fucked up, first of all. And then he has a conversation with another teacher. And they're like, so you're sure you're like fine with all this? And Deku specifically says, honestly, like I miss every single bit of it. Like I didn't want this to be where I ended up. And that part is what fucked me up the most, because it's like he didn't have to be that, and you just made that happen.
And then leaving the character sad with the decision of the creator.
Well, no.
Yeah, basically.
Well,
because it shows him walking to school, like to work, and it does like the little end, like the end thing, and then All Might shows up and crushes the end in his hand, and he's like, "Hey, young Midoriya," and he's like 1 billion years old at this point.
Yeah.
And he's like, based on my battle with All for One and the data we collected from you a couple years ago, we finally got this ready for you. Bakugo paid for most of it with his hero money.
Which is actually, I'm not gonna lie, actually kind of cool that I'm like,
I mean, definitely.
Bakugo, like, kind of like, because once they had their like reconciliation, it felt like Bakugo's whole journey, like, of being a better hero, better person, was like, what I did to Deku is fucked, and I need to amend for that. And that being like, yeah, Bakugo paid for most of this. I'm just like,
hey, Bakugo, remember when you and your friends...
I've been trying to get a hold of you.
Yeah, remember when you and your friends
told me to kill myself.
And throw my swan dive off the building and kill myself.
Yeah, Deku, I was 13.
I really wish I did.
Yeah, let me just get my food.
Deku, this is a Wendy's, please. I get your quirkless and a loser now, but like I need to go save people. Can you give me my fucking chicken nuggets?
But basically, Hatsume and Melissa Shield made Deku a new suit that's like the Hercules armor, but it's basically in an Iron Man suitcase from Iron Man 2, which is dope. But the manga ends with Bakugo saying, "Let's go, Deku," and then it shows like
the
all
entirety
of
of
them
Class
grown
1A
up.
as grown-ups going to like save the world. They all have new designs and everything.
So that's good.
And Deku's got like Iron Man gauntlets, and he's like fighting again because he's.
But
like,
I wish the whole chapter had been them fighting against like some big villain, and that's how they reunite. Instead of Deku being like, "Yeah, I lost everything. Like this sucks." And the worst part about it is they don't confirm or show him with Uraraka at all.
Yes.
They don't confirm any of the ships or even like non-Deku ones. Like
I don't
anybody.
know. If I was the creator, I'd be sick of it too.
But that's what I was saying to BJ. Is like it does feel like he got so much shit from that side of the community that he's like, I don't want to deal with it ever again. Like because if he
Maybe,
made them,
who knows? For all we know, Deku's with Eri.
Shut
the fuck up.
I don't need that student-teacher romance right now, all right?
You're so mature for your age.
Fuck.
And with that,
I don't want to end there.
Take it real sleazy.